So today we have been in arrival and logging in Zoom, and now we are very sure that everyone is on. And now the next chapter, it's what I am on now, introducing everyone. On today's Sorry, we got some network issue, but on today's program, we are going to have remarks from the SynBio4ALL community. That's from the chairperson of SynBio4ALL Africa, then communication from the directorate, and then the international volunteers will give us communication. And then we shall have keynote speeches, if at all they join us, because Dr. Isiko communicated to us that he was still engaged, but we hope he will join us. Then we shall have a speech from the CEO of Neo Bioscience, that's Ms. Sandra Martini. We shall have a communication from our official partner from Engineering Biology Research Consortium, EBRC, and it will be given by Emily Orand. And then Dr. Fortunate from the ISTECO will give us a communication. And we hope to have some communication from Yogo, from the IGM community, but he communicated that he could be maybe somehow engaged. And then we shall have a small panel exchange, and that will be between Dr. Sadiq Mustafa, Nina Yusuf from the European Synthetic Biology Society, Dr. Sadiq is from Makerere University, Marilyn Pavan from Brazil, and then Morgan Richards from the Validao, and I myself. And later, we shall award some certificates to the people who have so far contributed to SynBio4ALL Africa. And finally, we shall close and everyone will be free to leave at departure, and maybe we shall have some more discussions with the people who are in person. And without wasting time, I would like to go back to our Agenda 1 introduction from the host. I have already introduced myself. I am Emma Sevunyakato, the founder of SynBio4ALL Africa, and today's moderator for this launch. And without wasting time, I will now go to remarks from the chairperson of SynBio4ALL Africa, and that is Rosemond. But these remarks are recorded because Rosemond is currently doing her exams because she's from Africa in Ghana, but she's doing her master's from Canada, and currently she's doing her exams. She didn't manage to join us, but we have her recording, and we shall share the recording presentation from her. Okay, thank you so much.
Let's facilitate.
Okay, we are very sorry about that technical problem, but we shall play the audio for the recording later. But for now, let's go to the next item on our agenda. Okay, let's go to the next item from our agenda, communication from the directorates, and that will be given by Baluku Erikan. So we request Baluku Erikan, if you're on call, please unmute.
Can you see my screen and can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. So for the purposes of introduction, I'll first
Okay,
put...
Erikan, we can't hear you.
Emma, did you say you can't hear me?
Everyone else can hear you on the call, I think. So it seems to be an in-person
Okay,
issue.
so it's the issues on Emma's side, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'll put my camera just for the introduction, but I will put it off due to network issues. I think I'm a little bit deep in the village in Uganda for a break and the network might be a problem, but I'll introduce myself first, then put my camera off. So I'm Erikan Baluku. I'm the head of, or the director of research and innovation at SynBio4ALL, and apparently a PhD candidate, second year in molecular and cell biology as a specialization. And I've been with SynBio4ALL from its inception, having been with Emma to see how the organization can run. So I'll put off my camera and go ahead to present. Thank you. So if you can see from here, my presentation is all about the directorates of SynBio4ALL. And SynBio4ALL, as Emma has said, it is an organization that is currently running in Africa. And one of the things we decided to do was to actually partition the organization into directorates for easy performance, but also organizing to see how best we can make sure that we give independence to most of the members to benefit from working in closely with SynBio4ALL. So we had to divide the directorates into 10 of them. And if you can see clearly from here, we have the Directorate of Operations, Monitoring and Evaluation, and then Sustainable Impact. Here, basically, I will be able to give the details in the next slides. We have Education and Capacity Building. We have Research and Innovation. We have Entrepreneurship and Bioeconomy. We have Biogovernance and Biopolicy. Then we have Environmental Sustainability part, then Partnerships and International Relations, Outreach and Community Engagement, then Finances, which goes on with resource mobilization. So specifically for the Directorate of Operation, specifically we had to give these directors heads. And why we gave heads, because we thought that we would first operate in a way that we have few of the directorates operating, and as along the way, as the organization grows, we can have more of these directorates actually fully operational. So I can say currently we operate over like 5 of these directorates, which are fully functional with their head of directors. For example, from the education and capacity building, we have HIDI and ICE. These are the heads of this directorate, that all the directors that make sure that the activities in these directorates are run. Then Erkan Baluku and Stephen Malemia are the directors for the research and innovation. Then in the biogovernance and biopolicy, we have Charity. And in the outreach and membership, we have Rosamond, who didn't attend, but because of exams engagement. Then finance and fundraising, for now, we have Seunya Emakato, who is doubles as the founder of the organization. So we still have these other directorates down here that we are trying to see how best we can engage more of our teams to take on, but also see how they can expand the roles within these directorates. So for the operation specifically, as I said, and M&E, here we are looking at how can we deal with monitoring and evaluation, basically for the projects that are running throughout the organization. So this directorate is majorly it's majorly looking at the coordination of the logistics of the different programs, have M&E conducted, but also help in organizing all the reports from our projects. And we believe that this directory can help us in monitoring our impact, specifically for the different projects through the M&Es and the reports that are being done from the different projects. Then we have the education and capacity building. Here we are looking at knowledge transfer and skills development, majorly looking at how can we develop different training programs, curriculums, and mentorship programs for the young Africa students and scientists that are willing to be part of this community of SynBio4ALL. So as part of this, in my last slide, we see the impact we have had from the education and capacity building, but majorly here we develop modules, how organize education webinars, but also see how best we can work with institutions like universities to actually engage more of the students. Then we have the research and innovation. Under research and innovation, basically here we look at the scientific discovery. How can we go into research? This is an organization that is based on synthetic biology. With this space here, we lead research initiatives. And as I've said again on the last slide, we shall see what we've done with this research and innovation. But we lead research initiatives, foster collaboration with other scientists in writing papers like manuscripts, and also facilitate research-focused grants where it goes in hand with education and capacity building. We write grants and we see how best we can bring them, for example, to work on projects that can be in capacity building like education. But also more importantly, we look at three core SDGs, which is food security, health, and biodiversity. Then we have entrepreneurship and bioeconomy. Here, basically what we do, we deal with startups and economic growth. We thought that one of the ways that could be the commercialization pathway of what we do in our organization would be going into the entrepreneurship and looking at the bioeconomy. So we are still building up this directorate, but it will be basically looking at how can we create a commercialization path for the most of the projects, even if we are looking at just doing research, but can we bring out something like a product out of the work that we do? So it's majorly involves training the young scientists on how best they can develop the skill set they have in terms of research, but put into use by coming out with up with products and going into the industry. Then we have the biopolicy. The fact that we are working with synthetic biology, we thought it was important that we look at the biopolicy part. How can we work with policymakers to make sure that people access information to synthetic biology, but also understand that this is not just coming as a harm, but as a benefit to the society. And this directory major helps us with integrating the bioethics, the biosafety, and responsible innovation into our program so that what we do is accepted by the society, but also we are able to actually produce projects that are ethically tested and people believe that that work is coming to help the community and the research that we are doing is of more of an importance than harm to the community. So the biogovernance and biopolicy, we look at that ethical standards and the policy advocacy. Then the environmental sustainability. Here, majorly we look at the ecosystem. As we said, one of the SDGs we have is the biodiversity that we're working on as a core. Here, we're looking at how best can we work in projects that help actually in the restoration of the ecosystems. So this directorate is majorly focusing on those projects that are specifically aligned with how can we restore the biodiversity in terms of addressing environmental challenges like pollution, or this bioaccumulation of metals and other things that lie within the environmental sustainability. And this directorate will basically be handling those kind of projects. partnership and international relations, us being focused on Africa, we thought that it's important for us to bring in international partners, like how we're working with EBRC and also other projects that we are working on. We have got help from international volunteers, as ICE will highlight more on that. So global collaboration is majorly we are looking at how can we work with partners from the international community outside Africa to make sure that we meet the goals of this organization within Africa. So here is establishing specifically partnerships with the universities, fostering international collaborations also with other institutions that are interested in research, but also helping Africans to raise the synthetic biology knowledge. And we hope that via this directorate, we can be able to create that. Then we have outreach, membership, and community engagement. Here, basically, it's how can we build the community we are living in. We've been having a number of around 50, we went to 100, to over 200 people in our community. And through the outreach, membership, and community engagement, the person responsible for this directorate is basically looking at how can we bring in more young scientists and on board to make sure we raise more awareness about synthetic biology, create that more impact, specifically working closely with other directors like education, bring in more students to take in on our courses because we have made these courses fully online and people, we need more students to come and take up these courses. So via this directorate, we are able to actually sell the SynBio4ALL to the community. Then finances and fundraising, because we are an organization which is prior an NGO, we need finances. So we created this directorate to just look at how best can we look for sourcing activities in terms of fundraising, but also opportunities in terms of grants. We get an opportunity that we won a small grant that has helped us with one of the projects that we're currently running. And through this directorate, we hope that we can now expand and get into more projects, have people that can write grants under this directorate and be able to get sourcing for this organization. Then this goes the partners with fundraising, which is resource mobilization. So this directorate is actually, we're looking at merging some of them, and I think this is one of them where we have the resource mobilization and the fundraising coming together, because this is looking at how can we get potential partners, how can we write more proposals that can be grant winning, and also how can we create financial sustainability for our organization. So up to date, the progress that we've had into these directorates and education and capacity building, we've been able to actually have 3 online courses performed. We've been able to have 3 online courses fully given out online. And even up now, when you go to our old website, you can see those 3 online courses that have been taught to more than 500 students from over 27 countries within Africa. So these students have enrolled for all these 3 courses, taken them. The last course was on plant synthetic biology, which we were to do the wet lab part of it. We started with the theory. We are remaining with the wet lab. The other part was introduction to synthetic biology. Then we had the intermediate part of it. Then we went to the plant synthetic biology. So I've had those successful 3 online courses under education and capacity building. And we've created at least an impact of enrolling over 500 and above from over 27 countries. Under research and innovation, currently we have 2 papers within the pipeline that have been submitted. Some of them we are still now revising the feedback for these papers. But one of the papers was looking at the landscape of synthetic biology in Africa, the challenges, the opportunities, and how can we tap into what is missing within Africa. And the other paper was actually looking at mirror biology, which is a new technology that is coming in. And I've been able to write up with the community members to come up with these 2 papers. Then under finance and fundraising, as I said earlier on, we've been able to secure some small grant to help us with a plant synthetic biology
Okay. Sorry for the internet. Sorry for the internet, but thanks so much, Erican, for the presentation. Though we lost you on the next a little bit on the presentation that we missed. We missed the presentation, but I can share from this side again, and we try to see if it will play out. And that's the communication from Rosemond, who is the chairperson of SynBio4ALL. Thank you.
Greetings, distinguished guests, partners, mentors, volunteers, and members of the SynBio4ALL Africa community. From wherever you might be joining us today, whether in person at Magarena in Uganda or our online community, you're welcome. It is truly an honor to synthetic biology fundamentals in an accessible and inclusive way. Through our educational webinars, we have increased spaces for learning, dialogue, and inspiration. African leaders with global expertise. Through our mentorship, we have supported young scientists like the Magarena SynBio4ALL IGEM team, navigating research, innovation, and international opportunities. And through our SynBio4ALL Africa into what it is today, and we are so grateful and appreciative.
Okay, thank you so much, Rosemond, for the wonderful presentation you have given us today. So now, without wasting time, as we proceed, I would like to recognize the presence of our invited guests online. So far, I would like to recognize the presence of my teacher and my professor from France, Professor Sandrine Bogua. And also, I would like to recognize the presence of Morgan Richards from Validao and the presence of Heidi, who is part of us, and then Emily from EBRC. I will be recognizing more guests who are with us today as we proceed. So without wasting time, let's go to the next presentation. That is a presentation from our international volunteers, the people we work with internationally, and they will be represented by either Ice or Heidi, one of them. Ice or Heidi, please, you can take on. Thank you.
Thank you, Kato. I think Ice would have really liked to be here, but unfortunately he had to get a flight, so he was on the call earlier but left. But yeah, my name is Heidi Klumpa. I'm currently a postdoc researcher in synthetic biology working at AMOLF. But I've been working with SynBio4ALL since Kato first introduced me to the organization. I realized it was almost exactly 3 years ago. Our first meeting was January 2023. And it was really good to see Erkan's presentation because you see that SynBio4ALL is a lot of things. And the part that I've been involved with is just on the education side. So that's what I wanted to talk about briefly. And it wouldn't be possible without a big team of volunteers, in particular Ice and Renee, who's also on the call, have really made these things possible. And I guess the main idea that I wanted to communicate is that in our course, of course, we talk about new things in synthetic biology, but in our courses, we're also testing out new things in education because we saw that even though our volunteers tend to be grad students and postdocs who teach in traditional classroom settings, what we do with SynBio4ALL is a little bit different because we want our course to reach as many students studying in Africa as possible, which just means that we have different constraints and different opportunities. So in summer 2023 was when we offered our first course, which was 6 weeks, and we used Zoom like this as our classroom because none of our 6 teachers were actually in the same city and neither were most of our students. and we would record our lectures and upload them afterward if students had to miss class or didn't have good Wi-Fi. And another key thing was we figured out how to use Google Forms to make our homework assignments. And those homeworks were an important part of the course because we wanted to see that the students actually understood and could explain what we were talking about in class. And they were complex enough that we had a person whose whole job it was just to grade these homeworks because they actually had to like check comprehension. And then to get a course certificate, you had to get enough points across all of these homeworks to show that you'd really learned all the topics. So I hope that our students from that course are like proud of their certificates because even though it was our first course, I think we held them to high academic standards and what they accomplished was not easy. And it was about, I guess, 9 months later in summer 2024, we did our next course. And so we expanded a bit to 10 weeks and more intermediate topics. And we also wanted to offer the students a bigger challenge. And what we specifically asked them to do was apply synthetic biology to some problem, some social problem that interested them. And we thought this was good because when you do this, it deepens your understanding of the topic, but also because we think that's what some of our students will end up doing in their future careers as researchers and entrepreneurs, is applying synthetic biology to things that they think are important. And so they had to create a final project in a group where they picked some problem and then described a possible synthetic biology solution. And specifically, rather than a paper, we wanted them to produce an audio recording of an oral presentation because we thought, it's quite easy to ask AI to generate some text for you. But what our students actually did was work together in groups to make slides and then make these presentations, which really demonstrated that they had deep understanding. And these were really impressive. Some of them we liked so much, they're still on our website. So I was actually going to quickly drop the link in the chat, but you can check out kind of what they've done and what people are capable of. And it was, really inspiring. And I think the other thing I really liked about that is that I saw that when you're in a different setting and working with different people, the kinds of problems they're interested in are really different. And so I think us as teachers it was super cool to get to know these people via the things that they think are interesting and also just be inspired to think about different stuff. And that class was completed by at least 100 students who really did everything necessary to get a certificate, which was non-trivial. So I thought that was also very impressive. And then it was in our third course was this past summer of 2025. And we decided to kind of take a note from our students in terms of what would be interesting. And we noticed that a lot of them were doing degrees in agriculture or had proposed projects related to plants. So the third course was focused on synthetic biology of plants, which is kind of funny because that's actually, I think, one of the most cutting edge and challenging frontiers in synthetic biology at the moment. But why not just go for it? And we also wanted to include something more practical and hands-on. This is something the students had asked for. And we were lucky that the Experiment Foundation, this micro grant organization, awarded us almost $7,000 to sequence a native African plant, which is a way to apply a key synthetic biology technology and then also kind of learn more about this plant. And the students in the course actually generate basically miniature research proposals talking about scientific impact and technical feasibility, helping us choose the plant that we will ultimately sequence. So again, working together as a community. And so just to conclude and like thinking about the future, I was thinking there are like 3 different groups of people in the audience, I hope. And I would like to talk to each of you. So like first, if you're someone who could volunteer, I think the students that we work with are really amazing. They're incredibly hardworking and kind. And so it was just a real pleasure to work with them. And we have a lot of exciting projects that are going to require different types of innovation and also like people of expertise that we don't have, like expanding into new topics, thinking about how to make instruction more hands-on, thinking about how to offer a course that someone could take over their phone without a laptop. And also building partnerships with people who are able to work in person so we can develop courses more sustainably. Second, if you're someone who's interested in synthetic biology, but you don't have much of a background yet, please go to our website because we put a lot of stuff there that we make, and I think you can learn a lot. And in particular, you can watch the same lectures and do the same homeworks that we have for our courses. And then lastly, if you're someone here who's taken a course, thank you so much for coming and engaging, but in particular, sharing your ideas and opinions because they've made, as I've kind of told in this story, like every iteration of the course better. And something that I think is cool is now people who are studying anywhere in the world, even if they aren't based in Africa, even though that was our target audience, they can take these courses. And so I think you made that possible. And that's not something that's just valuable to SynBio4ALL, that's actually valuable to the whole synthetic biology community. So yeah, I'm really excited about what we've done, and we're excited for what comes next. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Heidi, for that wonderful presentation about how we work with the international community and the international volunteers. Still, as we proceed, I would like to recognize the presence of Marilyn Pavan from Brazil, then the presence of Rasmus from Denmark, and also the presence of Prachaya with us on this call from Thailand, but based in Germany. So let's proceed with the next on our agenda. And without wasting time, we shall now go to our keynote speeches, but we shall get some challenges, I guess, because some of the guests whom we have invited, they have not managed to join in because I guess some of them have found that they're engaged. Since today it's a Monday and it's the start of the week, some of them could be engaged. But we shall continue with those who are with us today. I'm not so sure if Dr. Isco is on the call with us. Okay, in case Dr. Isco is not on the call with us, I will quickly run to Miss Sandra Martini. Miss Sandra Martini, she's the founder and CEO of NeoBioscience, as she will be telling you about what does NeoBioscience do in regards with the field of biotechnology in Africa and in the whole world. So without wasting time, I would like to welcome Miss Sandra Martini. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Emma, for the invitation. Thank you so much, Emma. Thank you so much to the SynBio4ALL Africa team. I'm really so glad to be joining everyone here this evening here in Kampala for the launch of SynBio4ALL Africa. Good evening to you all.
Good evening.
My name is Sandra Martini, and I'm based here in Kampala. I'm the founder and the executive director of NeoBioscience. And when Emma reached out to me to give a keynote during the launch of SynBio4ALL Africa, there were so many things that came to my mind, and I was thinking, so what should I talk about? Because for this journey, I have moved right from 2018, when I have been working towards promoting synthetic biology on the African continent, and the work that I'm doing currently with NeoBioscience. So this is what I decided to talk about this evening, to talk about from talent to builders, how we are able to create pathways for African biotech innovation. When I first encountered synthetic biology, when I was first introduced to synthetic biology, it was really not from a high-end, laboratory, from some incubator, from a billion-dollar lab. The imagination that came to me when I was told about what synthetic biology can do was, what could we as Africans, how can we be able to leverage the opportunities that we have, that synthetic biology offers, to actually solve the problems that we have here in Africa. So synthetic biology offers such very powerful tools of our time. And so being able to leverage it to solve problems in health, to solve problems in agriculture, to solve problems in pollution, environmental remediation, was one of the things that came to my mind. And I didn't waste time. I was introduced to synthetic biology by a colleague. And because of what I thought of the potential of synthetic biology, there and then in 2018, we co-founded an organization that would go on to promote synthetic biology on the continent, especially through engaging young people. And that is SynBio Africa. At that time, I was working in public health, where I engaged with so many people. But there was a very, very clear pattern that I saw. We had very brilliant brains, students that were committed. We had very committed researchers. And there were problems that we have as Africa. But the persistent gap that was always there was being able to address the gap between the knowledge and impact. Moving, publishing of papers and creating impact from that research. Moving from just talent and creating pathways to get more people into innovation. And this is exactly the gap that SynBio4ALL Africa is here to address. So as I told you, in 2018, I co-founded SynBio Africa. And then fast forward in 2023, I realized if we are promoting synthetic biology, there are all these opportunities that are presenting. But then how do we also ensure that as biotechnology is going to grow, as all these opportunities are presenting, we can be able to innovate responsibly and do it safely. And that is how I co-founded NoBioScience, with the focus of supporting biotech companies and other partners to build systems so that they can innovate safely and securely. I did not do this because I had everything I had figured out, but because I saw a gap and I knew I could help close. Very early on, I understood that Africa needed more builders, which SynBio Africa is a pathway to us being able to grow more builders in the area of biotech. But here is the twist. NoBioScience, as I earlier told you, does not necessarily produce a product. We do not produce a molecule. We are not doing diagnostics as of yet, but we build systems that allow others to build. And so for the work that you heard about, the work that SynBio4 Africa is doing, what are some of the systems that can be leveraged to ensure that as these innovations come to the market, as we commercialize the products of innovation, they're actually safe and secure? So we train scientists, we design biosafety and biosecurity systems, we help laboratories and biotech teams operate on international standards, we translate abstract rules into working practice, and in many ways, NoBioScience exists so that other biotech companies can exist. Building in Africa teaches you something profound. It teaches you that biotech capacity and biotech building here is not glamorous. It is not about elegant designs or clever circuits or about but it's about power cuts, procurement delays, regulatory uncertainty, and skepticism sometimes about the science. It's about convincing people that excellence can actually live here and that responsibly must live here too. So that is exactly what SynBio4ALL Africa is demonstrating, that you can still build in Africa. The different discussions that I have had with various people who have tried to build on the continent, and especially the young people, and Emma is one of those young people. Initially, it would be very, very, like the imagination would be, can I actually start an organization on this continent and it can thrive? Can I be able to build a company on this continent and it can thrive? But here we are launching SynBio4ALL Africa. What does that tell you? It is possible, right? So through the endeavors, I have discovered that Africa is ready. What we often lack is not intelligence, we do have, but it is the permission. And what permission am I talking about? Permission to dream in scale. Permission to fail safely. Permission to turn an idea into an enterprise. That idea that you're thinking about. How can you be able to turn it into an enterprise? How can you be able to turn it into an organization of impact? And SynBio4ALL Africa is that permission. It is giving you the opportunity to dream. It is giving you the opportunity to turn your ideas into impact. It is saying, as a young scientist, you do not have to stop publishing. Continue the publication. You can ask, what does this help? How does this scale? What problem does this solve in a clinic, on a farm, or in the community? So do not stop at just publishing that research that you've done in the lab. How can you be able to translate that research into an impactful solution to some of the challenges that we experience here? To the students in the room, and maybe we have someone online. I know SynBio Africa, we just had SynBio4ALL Africa, as we just heard of the initiatives in education. So we are looking at so many students. You are not preparing for the future, you are already living it. Synthetic biology is shaping medicine, food systems, climate response, and security. And Africa does not have to catch up. We can leap. So normally we always hear that Africa is so behind. We do not have to go through each of those steps. You can see the opportunities that we have with the networks that have been built. Make use of those. And we can leap into the future that synthetic biology promises this continent. And to the mentors and the various partners of SynBio4ALL Africa and all other initiatives, your role is really sacred. You are not just transferring knowledge, you are transferring belief. And to the SynBio4ALL Africa team, you are not just launching an organization, you are building a culture that tells young Africans that your ideas are valid, that your science is powerful, and your continent is worth the building for. So I cannot really promise you that this journey will be a very glamorous one. Building in Africa is really glamorous. There will be moments of doubt, delays, and doors that do not open the first time you knock. But I can promise you this, for those who dare, building will set you on a path you could never have imagined if you had not started. It will stretch you, it will reveal capacities that you didn't know you had, and it will introduce you to futures you cannot yet see. And one day you will look back and realize that the most important moment was not when you succeeded, but when you started. So what does that mean? Start today. The future of biotech will not be written in one place. It will be written across very many continents, right? In many languages. And Africa will not merely participate, we will also author it. And who is going to author it? You, the young people. And SynBio4Africa is giving you that opportunity to do what? To author that story. So I want to say congratulations on the launch, SynBio4ALL Africa team. The work ahead is demanding, but I can see you ready to take it on. So thank you so much for choosing to build, and thank you for choosing to build Africa. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sandra Martini, for the wonderful words you've given to us and to everyone who is with us today. I would like to continue recognizing the presence of more invited guests and some who are part of us. I recognize the presence of Rasmus, I recognize the presence of Rene, and all people who are with us online. So next on our agenda, we shall have communication from our official partner, and that is Engineering Biology Research Consortium. And Engineering Biology Research Consortium is being represented by Emily from the United States. So without wasting time, Emily, please, you can take over. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here today and to be celebrating this launch. As Heidi mentioned earlier, as a representative of EBRC's Student and Postdoc Association, we've been very lucky to be involved with SynBio4ALL Africa and with Cato for many, many years now. As we've grown, helped Cato to grow this vision and SynBio4ALL Africa. It's a really incredible program and has such a huge opportunity and wonderful future ahead for the organization now that it is being launched as an NGO. I wanted to just acknowledge the the very amazing words just spoken by Sandra to acknowledge and recognize the opportunity and the joy that can come with and the challenges, of course, that come with science and with the education and with synthetic biology growth in Africa that you all have ahead of you. Very excited about that. My name is Emily Orand. I'm EBRC's Senior Director of Road Mapping and Education. And EBRC is a nonprofit organization similar to what SynBio4ALL Africa now is in Africa. We are that in the United States. And one of our foremost missions is to enable engineering biology or synthetic biology to tackle national and global needs. And it's very important to recognize that while synthetic biology can be fun to do in the laboratory, it really is that long-lasting impact and how the science and the research and the engineering is applied to the problems and the challenges that we as individuals face in our hometowns and in our villages and in our countries as we work towards solving those problems and ensuring that us and the people around us are healthy, they are safe, they have good, healthy food and clean drinking water, and many of those other things that we strive for all around the world. And so I am greatly appreciative of the fact that as SynBio4ALL Africa has grown and as new programs have been announced and as new initiatives have gotten started, there has forever been a focus on how we can help the local communities and how we can grow not only synthetic biology in Africa across the continent, which is just amazing, but also how we can target those efforts as we learn about synthetic biology, as we employ the science, as we do the research towards the challenges that we are facing, not only globally, but also in our local communities. And that is so important, and it is so necessary as we consider the research going forward. So as I said, Sandra said all of the things that were most important to say, so I will keep the rest of my remarks very brief, but I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to be representing EBRC and look forward to the continued support that we can provide for SynBio4ALL Africa and Cato and all of your directorates and all of your volunteers and everyone that engages with this as we go forward. Again, I'm very excited and congratulations on the growth and today's launch of the NGO. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Emily, for the wonderful words and encouragement which you have given to us. I continue to recognize the presence, sorry for over-recognizing people, as from the European Union Synthetic Biology Society who are with us today because they are, we have an informal partnership with them. It's not a very formal one, but I'm happy that they have joined us today. And I also would like to recognize the presence of Dr. Francis Makoha from Kenya, who is with us on the call. So next on the agenda, we were supposed to have a communication from the IGEM community, but it's unfortunate that at this exact moment, the person who was supposed to represent, who is Yogo, is also engaged in another meeting. So we shall run to the next item on the agenda, and that is a very short panel discussion. And this discussion, basically, it's about trying to discuss to see how the biotech curriculum of Africa is, how can we relate it with the rest of the world? Like what is taught in Africa, what do students learn in Africa, and how can we relate this with what is taught in the whole world? Because, you know, our primary role, if I have not yet told you, SynBio4ALL stands for Synthetic Biology Initiative Africa, and our primary role, though we do many other things, but our primary role is about synthetic biology education, promoting it across the African continent. So we would like to discuss, to have a very short discussion about this, how we can relate the biotech curriculum of Africa and also the rest of the world. On this panel, we shall have Dr. Sadiq Mustafa, who is a senior lecturer at Makerere University, College of Natural Sciences, and he has been teaching in this field of biotech, and he understands how the traditional biotech has been in Africa. Then we shall have Nina Yusuf, who is from the European Synthetic Biology Society, and she heads the policy there. And we shall have Marilyn Pavan, who is an experienced expert in the field of synthetic biology with many years of experience in this field, working in industry. We shall have Morgan Richards, who is also an experienced person in this field. And I myself, I will moderate this panel. So I don't know, we have two people, no, we have one person within person on this panel and three who are online. So the online team, please, are you on? I will start with Nina. Nina, are you with us on the call?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Okay, thank you so much. Pavan, are you with us on the call?
I am, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. And Morgan, are you with us on the call?
Yes, can you hear me well?
Okay, we can hear you very well. So I will start with Morgan. Morgan, please, utilizing 1 minute, please give a brief introduction about yourself.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Really great to be here. Thank you, Emma, for inviting me, and congratulations on the NGO filing. So I'm Morgan Richards. I'm one of the co-founders of ValleyDAO, and ValleyDAO is essentially an organization. It's a community-driven organization that helps to fund and commercialize synthetic biology for the protection of our planet. So we focus mostly on climate, sustainability, food security, and these kind of global issues that are increasingly becoming a problem as our climate shifts towards the red zone. I've been involved in ValleyDAO for a number of years now, and my primary role started in communications and community engagement, which is actually during the time that I met Emma. And currently my role is on product development. So we're building a platform to help researchers turn their research into businesses. So to help with all of the kind of missing pieces and maybe some of the skills and insights that people don't teach you at university.
Okay, thank you so much, Morgan, for that brief introduction. Then I will go to Nina. Nina, please give us a brief introduction about yourself.
Yes, thank you. So Nina Yusufu, I'm the head of policy for EU SynBio, which means European Synthetic Biology Society. I've recently joined in April 2025. I'm really not a scientist and more coming from the political sciences background and work for the French government for health innovation and biotech. So about our organization, we are a non-profit organization. Like SynBio4ALL, we are trying to highlight what's going on with biotech and synthetic biology in Europe, but also to gather every stakeholders to build community. And actually, that's very nice to be here today. I feel like there is so many faces I know, and it starts to feel a bit like a village. So I guess we are doing all the great work at building a community. Maybe for being a bit more specific about what EU SynBio does, we have different teams working on policy from my side, reaching out for European policymakers and helping them understand what's going on with biotech. And also working with seminar about technical innovation, communication, and education. So we have a lot of opportunities to work with SynBio4ALL. And thank you again for inviting me to intervene, Emmanuel.
Okay, thank you so much, Nina. And then I will go to Dr. Sadiq. Please give us a brief introduction about yourself.
I hope you can hear me. I think you're loud. My name is Sadiq Abubakar Sadiq Mustafa. I work with the College of Natural Sciences, the Department of Plant Sciences, Microbiology and Biotechnology. I've been in the university service for now 10 years, teaching various of courses, but basically dealing with a group of students doing Bachelor of Science in Biotechnology. I can see some of my students in the room. Happy to see you. So basically that's more of an educator and very passionate about biotechnology. And I love what Morgan said because we're looking out to not only the theoretical education, but how to convert science into products and services. There's very good opportunity with biotechnology, synthetic biology, and changing the economy. So I'm really looking forward to working with SynBio4ALL, and congratulations to the launch, to Emma, the team, the collaborators, and everybody. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Sadiq. And now finally, we shall go to an introduction from Pavan.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marilyn Pavan. And my story with Makerere University and SynBio Africa, I started as an unofficial mentor for their iGEM team, at the time being led by Kato. And while I was working at LanzaTech as innovation manager in the synthetic biology group. I remember during one of our exchanges, Kato talking about his plans on building SynBio4ALL. And after that, all the struggles and everything that they had to went through to the launch of this NGO today, which I'm very impressed by the amazing results they already got and also the powerful team that they put together. Next Monday, I'll be announcing a new chapter on my career. And this is very exciting because I think it will allow me to be even more helpful for organizations such as SynBio4ALL. So thank you very much again for having me and congratulations.
Okay, thank you so much, Pavan. So I will start with Dr. Sadiq, who is from Makerere University. The question is, how can we look at the biotech landscape in Africa as compared to the rest of the world? And which gaps do you think that are in Africa? And how do you think organizations like SynBio4ALL can come in and cover up these gaps?
Thank you so much, Kato. I don't know how to approach the question because there's really a lot to say about the gap that we have in Africa, Uganda per se, in terms of our biotechnology capacity. But I think I would probably one of the things that SynBio4ALL Africa is going to do is to roll out more of education across the continent. And for me, that's step number one, because if you quickly look through some of the programs we have in Makerere in terms of their content of synthetic biology, it's almost probably 0.5%. So for me, that would be the first step, and SynBio4 Africa is actually doing that. So in terms of improving the content, we have some of the courses we are running that because of the new technology, we end up just adding, making additions as a teacher because of where the technology has gone. But I think we need a full-blown program, a BSc program, master's program that is specifically synthetic biology. And that is even going too far because I think the whole of Uganda will probably have only one course that is BSc in biotechnology, and it's only found here in Makerere. And the same story across. I think if you go to Kenya, you go to Tanzania, you find that the problem we have, first of all, is on the education system. So we have chips of it just thrown out as course units here and there. So I think we need a fully blown, if SynBio4ALL can take up that as one of the things that they should do. I know you have modules, courses that you intend to run, short courses, but I think we can work with universities to enhance the program, have full-blown synthetic biology as a program, and also probably incorporate it in some of the courses that we have. So as we're doing program reviews for certain courses, courses that are related to synthetic biology, biotechnology, genetic engineering, we could have those components actually brought into the courses. Then I think the other problem, of course, I think Sandra talked about much of the challenges we have, and opportunities like, state of the art. We don't even have a sequencing center in the whole of Africa, researchers probably sending their material DNA. The closest is South Africa, okay? So I think in terms of technology, I'm happy that we are seeing a lot of collaborators, mentors across the globe, and I think this is quite a good, you're launching it, but it seems you already have a pathway, you have people that you brought on board. And for me, this is a plus because we cannot be giants. We have to stand on the shoulders of giants. So having mentors, collaborators, international, people, experts in synthetic biology joining the team, that will be a plus. And then the third one, there are very many, but let me stop with the third one, is that we have focused on crop biotechnology, synthetic biology in the plant sciences, but we are failing to catch the low-hanging fruit, which is the microbiology or issues with industrialization. Everyone is talking about commercialization. What is that is so easy for us to commercialize? Bring science, bring ideas into enterprise. Sandro, again, thank you so much. Okay, how do we bring the idea, the science into a product, into a service? Okay, and what's the low-hanging fruit? We are here battling biopolicy, biogovernance, for so many years. Okay, so what is that is low-hanging that we're not going to biosafety issues? People will say, no, this is food, you're going to eat it. This is genetically engineered. Okay, can we go to detergents, enzymes, and so many? There's a lot of things that we can do if we can also refocus our synthetic biology into things that are much easier and more acceptable to the public. So it's quite a long list, but I wish to stop there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I will go to Marilyn Pavan. The reason why I'm going to Marilyn Pavan after Dr. Sadiq is because Pavan, you're from Latin America, but you have worked for many years in the United States. And Latin America and Africa, the environment is somehow relating at least. So in your own perspective, what do you think that organizations like SynBio4ALL Africa can contribute, given the fact you have both maybe some experience from the academia, but big experience in industry, relying on both experiences? How do you think things can be worked out?
Well, I think SynBio4ALL, it's a good example of the whole package when we talk about being on par with what is being developed in Europe and in the United States. You're right. So Latin America is very similar to the African continent in several ways. We've discussed this before between us. And what you guys are doing is something that we've been discussing both internally in Brazil, but also in other venues like EBRC, for example. So though Emily is not in this panel, she's very, very skilled on education and outreach. I'm gladly part of EBRC education working group. So we've been discussing all those things in the working group, I would say for years now, Emily. And what you guys are doing, it's on a very right path to make synthetic biology first more on par on what is being developed worldwide. And for that, I would advise to keep informed, of course, of what is being developed worldwide, like looking for your great partner EBRC or the iGEM competition and the headquarters and so on and so forth. And the fact that you guys created it are developing a curriculum and coursework accordingly to what Heidi described it earlier in this meeting is fantastic, because it's very hard to rely on universities and bigger institutions to change their curriculum. That's really a challenge, and we cannot count on that for all countries, regions, or continent regions. It's just very impossible to rely on that, to count on that. So the fact that you are creating this coursework and making it available for everybody and bringing this diverse team from different regions, I guess it's an excellent step towards making it more available and relatable to what's being developed worldwide. So yeah, I think it's incredible. I don't see anything that I could add without knowing in depth what you guys are doing. But as far as I understood, you guys are the correct path to make it more relatable.
Okay, thank you so much, Pavan. With that, relating to Africa, and maybe because I'm not who have much knowledge about the policy of Africa, but I think you have much knowledge about the policy in the European continent. I would like to hear your views, and the people joining us both in person and on Zoom, they would like to hear your views on what do you think that in terms of policies relating with the European policy, what do you think can be done on the biotech education in Africa to improve it not only in the academia side, but also in the industrial side?
Sorry, I think I lagged a little bit. So yes, it's a very tricky question. There is a lot to say, but maybe to start in Europe, we just have the first proposal for the Biotech Act that was published in December. Just to say that this is the first real legislation about biotech. Before that, we had very partial laws about clinical trial or novel foods. So Europe is also starting to work on this domain, and this is a brand new ground for policies. I would say that Europe is trying something. Europe is trying to, with AI, they are trying to draw some new regulation and new ethical lines to be inspired of. This is kind of a laboratory. I think, first of all, this is interesting for Africa because when time comes to bring legislation to and Africa has the ground to have a brand new infrastructure ecosystem. I mean, in Europe, we have a very old countries, we have very structured ecosystem, where Africa has the opportunity to create brand new things that are in tune with the times and also taking advantage of what's done in other continents. I would say also that this is interesting. I had a conversation at the OECD about the megatrends. So it was not about biotech at all, but they mentioned that Africa will have the most young people in the following years, and that it will actually be very important considering the other population from Europe or America. So there is like a pool of talents, a pool of ideas, a pool of innovation that will belong to Africa, and that maybe Europe could help to have the good tools to develop knowledge, as you mentioned before. But I think a lot of things are still to be designed, are still to be put in reality. So I would say there is not so much. What is interesting is that some industry players might have a very interesting approach when it comes to helping the African continent. I'm thinking about big pharmaceuticals company that have a training program to help African youth to be in tune with new tools and things like that. But there is a lack of institutional layer. Also, after the COVID, I've seen that a lot of multilateral organizations try to bring a response to the need of harmonization of practices and knowledge between Africa, between Europe, Asia, but it's like not specifically for Europe or Africa, it's like for the whole world. There is a will to work on globalization and how to tackle crisis preparedness globally. And for that, many actors were paying very strong attention to Africa because there is so much to do and there is so much people and so much ideas to tackle. So it was their first interest when, for example, the United States or Europe were already so much structured that it didn't let any initiative to build something different that could respond to the new challenging we are facing today. So when we mention the States and Europe and the multilateral organization, there's also one layer that is very important, and that is that will always matter is a more our level of acting. It's the people, the human community. It's about youth. It's about people specializing in agriculture and every kind of community. By living daily what biotech could bring to society, could bring very new ideas and design very new policies. It seems a bit like poetry, but I have seen in my work that the ecosystem that were working the most, they were listening to personal initiatives that were based on culture and value and daily practices. So I would say that's my vision of it, and I hope that's an interesting response.
Okay, thank you so much, Nina, and it really interests so much. Then finally, on our discussion, I would like to hear from Morgan. Morgan has been in the field of biotech for quite a long time, and he has practiced at an industrial level. And I guess, Morgan, you have much knowledge about the industrial level. What do you think, which opportunities do you think are available for, I will use the African students who are passionate about biotechnology, no matter the challenges they face in the academic system of the biotech curriculum in Africa? So what do you think, like the opportunities, which opportunities do we have globally that are waiting for the passionate young Africans?
It's definitely a good question and a hard question to answer in such a short amount of time. I think like there's maybe a couple of key points that I would hopefully can summarize the general sentiment. One is that like there is obviously a need for boots on the ground in all aspects of biotechnology. So having the skills and knowledge to understand and apply biotechnology to solve different challenges, whether those are for industry, for academia, or for ordinary people, in the case of actually applying biotechnology into products and services, those are all up for grabs. And constantly, like this is a growing industry that's receiving more and more investment worldwide. Maybe one kind of counter argument to extent is to say that biotechnology is not a unique industry in that the patterns of how it is developing, how the knowledge is being developed and propagating and being spread around the world, the infrastructure and capacity is being built is an exact mirror of how almost every industry in the past has been done. And so you see the Europe, US, and China being kind of the dominant forces that are pulling all of the strings here. And I would kind of urge Africa. I think Nina mentioned that Africa is going to have one of the youngest populations, or maybe already does have one of the youngest populations in the world. And I see that as a huge, huge potential because that's essentially like a prediction for the future, let's say, in that in 10, 20, or 30 years, Africa is going to be uniquely poised in terms of age, in terms of capacity, in terms of educational experience and background. And I think that's something to leverage, not just now, but also to think of for the future. So I think in general, waiting for European policy, European capacity, and infrastructure to be built is one thing. Obviously, there's a lot of things that can be learned there. But if we wait for Europe, the US, and the rest of the world to kind of tell you how to build biotechnology in Africa, it's only going to end up being the same as a lot of the other extractivist industries. So I think the work that SynBio4ALL Africa is doing is amazing. And I would urge all of you guys to work with and collaborate with as many African entities as possible. To understand where do you sit uniquely in terms of your skills, your capacity, and also the environment and the biological diversity as well. Because I think there are things the rest of the world recognizes the value in Africa and is constantly trying to find ways to leverage it. But I think if you can grapple that yourselves and use it to kind of build up the capacity in Africa for Africa, then that's what's going to be most important, not just now, but in the future as well. So I know that's not a direct answer to the question, but it's something I definitely feel strongly about, and I think can talk more on if anyone's interested in contacting me after this panel.
Okay, thank you so much, Morgan. I see someone has a hand raised up. Please, could you unmute and ask your question before we go to, like, maybe, because for this panel discussion, it is an open one, whereby someone can ask a question at any time, but also we can, we shall conclude after the question. So go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you so much, Emmanuel. I felt like it's important for me to respond to that, just because I am representing the European Synthetic Biology Society, and I hope my intervention was not only to say that Africa should wait for Europe to call the shots. Obviously, it was not about this. I just want to say that also in Europe, you have a very, very strong melting pot of students. You have a lot of students coming to the European schools, and legislation that is done in Europe is very interesting to get inspired from, because this is the kind of, and actually what was done with the GDPR or the AI Act made the United States react very strongly, because that was a new path that was also designed for other countries to get inspired from, and that was very much where I was coming from. But I would also say that some communities, and I am a great representative of one, present in Europe, have a strong attach to what's going on in Africa, have a strong opinion about its potential, and a lot of knowledge obviously is in Europe and could very much also go to Africa and help building new things, and we have representatives from Latin America also. So I think, yes, it's a strong balance between being aware of your own potential and be aware that there is a global community that is everywhere in the world. You should not be afraid. It's too strong, but don't be afraid also from European that wants to help, because they can be truly very motivated to see Africa thrive. So sorry, Morgan, I just wanted it sparked so many emotions in me to have this conversation. So I wanted to react.
No,
Thank you.
absolutely. And I should apologize if my my introduction was too strong.
No,
it was not my
fine,
intention to say not to work with Europe at all, but definitely to think long term for Africa as well.
Definitely agree with you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. So we shall have a round of remarks from our panelists, and I will start with Marilyn Pavan. Your remarks as we conclude this discussion.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I totally agree with Morgan. In my time at Senai Innovation Institute here in Brazil showed me that we should definitely explore what we have internally in terms of societal problems and biodiversity and everything that is related to the environment we are in, and apply synthetic biology and other tools to best explore and try to solve these problems better. So yeah, thank you for having me, and success in your journey.
Okay, thank you so much, Pavan. And I will go to Nina.
Yes, thank you. Just to say that in EU SynBio, we always try to find new ways of working, new tools, new kind of partnerships to work in. If you have an idea of how the people that are spread around Europe could help SynBio4ALL to thrive, and the African community, we are very much open for discussion, and also to highlight the kind of project you are doing for Europeans that are always very interested in innovation and scientific excellence. So thank you so much again for inviting me.
Okay, and then we shall go to Morgan.
Yeah, I think I want to echo almost exactly what Nina said. We at Valley DAO are always open to collaborations. and amplifying all of the fascinating work that's going on around the world. If anyone is personally interested in learning more about community-driven biotech, we are launching a microgrants program that will be open for applications soon. And so it will be amazing to see some applications from the African continent. And yeah, if you would like to speak about any of the topics that we discussed here today, I know we didn't have much time, then we are active online all the time. We regularly host and attend many events. So I'm sure we will all cross paths again soon.
Okay, thank you so much, Morgan. Before I go to Dr. Sadiq, I would like to tell everyone joining us in that on our first day when we were starting what we are doing today, like 3 years back, Morgan and Pavan, they were our chief guests and they both gave presentations. And I'm very happy that up to date we are still in touch. And thank you for accepting our invitation. Now I go to Dr. Sadiq in your concluding remarks.
Yes, I think to everybody and to the team that is steering SynBio4ALL, I want to say that this is a very good initiative and you have full support. You represent College of Natural Sciences and we have full support. Pavan, I think, had a bit of a challenge, thinking that, it's very hard to change programs. But I want to encourage you, Kato, and the team, and all of us that it is quite easy. And I think we are now going into the rounds of doing program review. And usually it's a very short cycle of around 3 years, but we have like 1 year to now wind up with the program review. So I think these are some of the things that we can come in. It's a broader picture. So I think I would encourage us to actually even chase that, so that we can have it in the curriculum and everybody being rolled out at least comes with some skills of the synthetic biology. So the capacity building can take all those forms. And in doing capacity building, I think we should not also forget the biopolicy, the policy makers, because there's a lot of gap there in terms of the people we have in parliament, in terms of their understanding of what synthetic biology. So you can roll out to the schools, have the products, people coming out, but really the decision makers who sit in parliament know nothing about synthetic biology. So it's something that we can follow we have one of the departments doing biogovernance and biopolicy. So it's something that we can roll out to the community, let them understand what synthetic biology is, to the school goers, to the scientists, and then to the policymakers. So, and really focus on job creation. I love the bioeconomy department that you have. These students get very encouraged from my experience if they are doing what Morgan is doing, enriching the community, empowering the community to actually come up with their own innovations that they can sell, they can commercialize. The problem we have in Africa generally in terms of employment. So this to me is a very low hanging fruit in terms of actually coming out with what job creators and job seekers. So the policy in Uganda again is focusing on more like process regulation. I don't know how we can turn it to product regulation. Why would you regulate the process? Let scientists, think widely, and come up with whatever products. Then regulate them at the product level. Okay, is this product safe? This is what NGO does. Okay, what they are rolling out, is it safe? Can it be, what is the term? Can it be licensed so that it goes out into the market? But then if you regulate science and say don't do this, don't do A, B, C, D, I think that's part of what we are lacking in our young scientists. So again, congratulations, and we are here to work with you at the university level, and together we shall make this work.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Sadiq. Thank you so much, Morgan. Thank you so much, Marilyn Pavan. And thank you, Nina, and the entire EU SynBio Society for joining us on this discussion. And thank you, everyone who was listening to this discussion. Thank you. You're most welcome. Yeah. So now, next on our agenda, it's about we are coming to the closure of today's event. So The closure, it's going to be about the launch and the certificate award. And as we I'll invite a few people to join us in this session. It's going to be a very short session, I guess, like maybe just I would say 3 to 4 minutes. And although we have our panelists, sorry about that. We had panelists who joined us, and I will request them still, the ones whom we have in person. I'll request Sandra to come forward, and then Dr. Sadiq to come forward. And then maybe we can also be joined by one online participant, and that's Marilyn Pavan, to congratulate the people who have contributed much to SynBio4ALL for these past years, which we have existed by offering to them certificates. Our certificates are not physical certificates. They are going to be online certificates. They are appreciation certificates for the good work done. Sorry that I'm taking a little bit of time because the system was playing me, but now it's okay. Okay, sorry about that, but I guess you can bring the team. Heidi, can you see our screen?
Oh, yes, I can see the screen. This is really nice.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. To look at my screen. Okay, we got a technical challenge with our in-person team because where we are projecting, we lost, we were no longer seeing what we are projecting. But okay. Okay, I hope our screen is on. Okay, thank you so much. And now I will call upon Dr. Sadiq, I will call upon Sandra. We shall start with the session of awarding certificates to the people who have contributed much to SynBio4ALL. People who have contributed much to the success of SynBio4ALL so far. And Dr. Sadiq and Sandra, I would like to start by appreciating Heidi Klumpe Heidi Klumpe, she just gave us a short presentation today, and it was very nice. But she has been with us from the time SynBio4ALL started. So Heidi, we recognize and appreciate the great work you have done to SynBio4ALL. I and the chairperson of SynBio4ALL plus the entire core team at SynBio4ALL Africa, we really recognize the work you have been doing for us from the time we got to know you up the present day. And thank you so much. And we shall be sending your certificate online to you via email. Thank you so much. Sandra and Dr. Sadiq, I would like to recognize in absentia our chairperson for SynBio4ALL Africa. That is Rosemond Tawea Nyatefe. She's from Ghana. She's part of the core team and part of the founding team. And we recognize her contribution for so far since SynBio4ALL Africa started. And Rosemond, thank you so much. We shall be sending your certificate via email. Thank you so much. Still, Dr. Sadiq and Sandra, I would like to recognize the great work done by Okay, hope our screen is still being shared. Okay, I would like to recognize the great work done by Stephen Malemia. Stephen Malemia is part of the core team of SynBio4ALL Africa, and he's from Malawi. That shows you how diverse our team is. Stephen, we would like to recognize and appreciate your work since the time you joined us as SynBio4ALL Africa, up to date when we are becoming an NGO. Thank you so much. I would like to recognize the great work which has been done by Mr. Erikan Baluk, who gave us a presentation about the directorates and how we do our work. Mr. Erikan, we recognize your great work, and Sandra and Dr. Sadiq, allow me appreciate Erikan Baluk for the great work he has so far done for SynBio4ALL Africa. Thank you so much, Erikan. Still, I would like to recognize the great contribution done by Charity Serwa. Charity, sorry, before I go to Charity, I would like to tell you that Erikan is also from Uganda. Yeah, and now I would like to recognize Charity Serwa. Charity is from Ghana. Our team is really diverse, almost the whole of Africa. Charity, thank you so much for the great work you're doing for SynBio4ALL Africa. Thank you. Allow me still appreciate and recognize the great work done by Perez Mwine, also one of our core team members. Perez, thank you so much for the great work you've done for SynBio4ALL Africa. I would like to recognize the great work done by Ice. His name, Zarola, is very long and he prefers being called Ice, but his real names are Cholpist Kiatisiwe. Ice, thank you so much for the great work you've done for our team. He's an international volunteer. We got to know him through the EBRC Postdoc Association, and he has been doing a great work for SynBio4ALL Africa. Thank you so much, Ice. I would like to recognize and appreciate Hasveni Maganda. He's from Malawi. She's from Malawi, and she has done a great work for SynBio4ALL Africa. Thank you so much, Haz, as we normally call her. And we shall send you a certificate via email. Thank you. Allow me recognize the great work done by Brenda Namgamba. She's from Uganda, and she has done a great work for SynBio4ALL Africa from the day she joined us up to the present day. She's part of the core team. Thank you, Brenda. And allow me appreciate so much Rene. Rene is from Germany, but he's currently based at Stanford, where he's a postdoc. And he has really played a very big role at SynBio4ALL Africa, more especially in the plant synthetic biology, because he's a plant synthetic biologist and an expert in that field. Thank you so much, Renee, for the great work you've been doing for us. Thank you. I would like to recognize the great work done by Anguzu Simon, who is with us here in person. He's from Uganda. Anguzu, thank you so much for the great work that you have done for SynBio4ALL Africa. He's part of the core team, and he has been doing a great work. Come forward for a picture with Sandra and Dr. Okay, thank you so much, Simon. And allow me also to appreciate myself. Yeah, I would like to appreciate myself for the work I have done for SynBio4ALL started up the present day. And thank you so much, everyone who has been part of this journey. And thank you so much for joining us. And now, at this moment...
Before that, I think let me also take the honor to thank you, Kato, for dreaming big, for starting this initiative, for bringing it to where it is. Like Sandra said, there are so many challenges and you could have given up along the way.
Yeah.
So thank you for being that visionary leader to get your team on board, the relevant collaborators to where we have reached. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you so much. So I would like to call upon right now, before we conclude, we are going on the final activity, and that is the launch of SynBio4ALL Africa as an NGO. SynBio4ALL Africa as an initiative, it was already launched late in 2022, but now today we celebrate another milestone for becoming an NGO. And I will call upon, from the online side, I will call upon Renee and Pavan to join us in the launch of SynBio4ALL Africa as an NGO. Then from the in-person side, Dr. Sadiq and Sandra will play the part. I will start with the online part. Please allow me, and we remain here. We get a word from Pavan and a word from Renee. Then we conclude from this side. I will start with Renee.
Thank you so much. It's been very much an honor to joining you and like trying to be helpful. And I think the launch is super exciting. I think it's just the beginning of a new chapter, I would say. And I'm very, very excited about everything which is coming up, and I'm very, very happy to help wherever I can, and I hope we can achieve something super cool in the upcoming years. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Renee. Now I would go to Pavan.
Thank you so much, Kato. And again, congratulations to you and the whole team with this amazing initiative that's going to have a huge impact in everyone's life, everyone that is involved life. So I, again, put myself available to help in any capacity that is needed. You can count on me always, you know that. And best of luck with this new chapter of SynBio4ALL.
Thank you so much, Pavan. And now I will go to Sandra.
Okay, I would like to really congratulate you, Emma, and the rest of the team at SynBio4ALL Africa. This is a journey that I got the opportunity to see right from the start. And for me, it's been an honor to see SynBio4ALL Africa grow from where it was as an initiative to now an NGO that it is, and the impact that it promises for this continent. I'm really looking forward, and I believe it will be great. And just like Marilyn, I am equally available. I always love it when, we get to talk about how more can we build on this continent. So I'm still availing myself, and I want to just implore the young people, this is an opportunity that you should take on, and congratulations again.
Okay, thank you so much, Sandra. And now, finally, as we go on the launch of SynBio4ALL Africa, okay, we have been in the launch, and now finally, since we are being hosted at Makerere University, I wanted to end with someone from Makerere University to give his final and concluding remarks as we end this meeting, but also as we start a new journey as an NGO, Dr. Sadiq.
Yes, thank you so much, Kato. Again, I want to congratulate all of us. I think we should give a round of applause for all of us, those here, those not here, because this is something for all of us, initiated by a team. They brought the collaborators we need, but now it's still a baby. So this is a new chapter, and a chapter that requires us now to be very proactive in terms of seeing synthetic biology grow in Africa. So you are assured of our support. I cannot talk on behalf of Makerere because I was here as an individual, but yes, I can assure you that we can walk the streets of Makerere to have everybody on board to support this initiative. So congratulations to all of us. I'm looking forward to growing bigger and bigger. The population is very big. We are very small in this room and those online. So there's great opportunity for us to bring on board as many collaborators and players as possible. So congratulations again to us. Yeah.
Okay. And at this moment, I would like to appreciate everyone and thank everyone who has been journeying with us from the time we started up to the present day where we are starting a new journey as an NGO. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, the COA team that we work with, being led by Rosemond, who is the chairperson, and all the rest of the members. Thank you so much, the directorate heads, more especially the Directorate of Education being headed by Heidi and I, then plus Renee. Thank you so much, the Directorate of Biopolicy, Simon, and all the team that work from that field. And thank you so much, the Synthetic Biology Initiative Africa community, because we have a very big community that is housed on a WhatsApp group. Thank you so much, those who are on WhatsApp group. And thank you so much, whoever will watch this launch on recording, because this launch will be put on our website and also on our YouTube channel. So if you need more information about SynBio4ALL Africa, we have a LinkedIn account. You can just type in SynBio4ALL Africa. We have a Twitter account, formerly X. You can also find it as SynBio4ALL, and then a Blue Sky account. We have an email, and our email where you can get us from is info@synbio4allafrica.org. And also, we have brochures for the people attending in person. These brochures, just on the back end, you will find our contacts and also the work that we do. If you need to engage with us, if you need our support, if you need our help, and if you need to collaborate with us, we call upon more collaborators, we call upon more partners, and we call upon more mentors, because as a continent, as the young generation of this continent, if we are to build a strong biotech and synthetic biology community, we need more mentors from the developed continents such as Europe, Asia, and North America, plus people from Latin America. You can also join us, and we work together to build this strong force in Africa. Thank you so much for joining in today. Thank you so much for sacrificing your time. And with those few words, I would like to end today's event, but we shall keep in touch and let's keep connecting. You can follow me on my LinkedIn. I use Emma Sebunyakato. You can follow me on Twitter, and also you can WhatsApp me, because my WhatsApp, if I send you an email, you will be in position of seeing my WhatsApp number down in the email signature. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sandra, and thank you, Dr. Sadiq, for accepting our invitation. And thank you all our guests who accepted our invite. Thank you, and have a blessed week. Bye-bye. Thank you. Okay, thank you. For the so for the in-person team, please let's have a group photo for the in-person team. You can join us for a group photo. You come forward for a group photo.
Bye. How are you?
Maybe others can come, like, can come. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. So we shall have some at the dining there. We have something, some evening tea. Yeah, you can join us there. Okay, thank you. We have finished.